Guinea last week opened the trial of 11 men accused of killing more than 150 peaceful protesters 13 years ago. The protesters were massacred as they marched at a stadium in Conakry against a presidential bid by a military ruler, Moussa Dadis Camara. Their bodies were strewn across the stadium while more than 100 women were allegedly raped. Elise Kepler will join us shortly to discuss the human rights implications for the families of those killed. Those families welcome the trial, saying they have waited too long for justice. Now, for more on the trial and its implications, I'm joined live via Skype from New York by Elise Keppler, Associate Director of the International Justice Program at Human Rights Watch. Elise, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you.
You attended the court hearings last Wednesday. What were your observations?
It was really an incredible moment. This is something that the victims have been seeking for some 13 years since the crimes were committed, to see justice done, to see people punished for the crimes, and really a sight to behold, to have a former president, former ministers, and other accused before judges in a court of law on atrocity crime charges. This is something never before seen in Guinea and would be rare anywhere in the world, frankly.
Elise, 13 years, as you say, is a very long time. When should the families of victims expect to hear the verdict?
These trials are complicated and can take a long time, including to ensure that they are fair. The expectation here is that this trial will be many months, if not a year or more, and that's far from unusual. But I think the key here is that it be a fair and credible proceeding so that it can really satisfy the hopes and expectations of a meaningful justice for the victims who have been campaigning to see perpetrators held to account for so long.
We've seen so many places where people's rights have been violated, but what does this case say about Guinea's justice system?
There have been questions all along with this long delay for the trial to be held about what are the blockages to justice. It's important to note that the Guinean authorities early on indicated that they would try the crimes and that the International Criminal Court need not intervene to take up the case, that the Guinean authorities were able and willing. Yet we have seen a very slow and uneven progress. And time will tell if this can be a genuine and credible trial. It's important to also note that the country is currently ruled by a junta that took over in a coup d'etat last year. And Human Rights Watch and others are urging for this trial to be situated in a set of wider rights reforms to ensure that rights are respected in Guinea, and other trials for atrocities that have been committed that have yet to see any kind of justice delivered.
So what's next after this trial?
So I had the opportunity to attend the opening in Conakry last week. Proceedings were suspended or put on recess for a week so that both victims, lawyers, and the accused lawyers could have more time to study the file. The proceedings resumed today. And now we'll see. It's anticipated that there could be arguments raised by defense, in particular about different aspects that need to be addressed. And then ultimately witnesses will be brought forward. More than 400 victims have been heard by the investigative judges. And I am certain some of them, if not many of them, will be heard by these judges. There will also be opportunities to hear the accused give their information and other witnesses, bystanders, for example, and then the judges will ultimately rule. So it will take time. These are mass crimes, complicated crimes, multiple crimes. Some may be implicated who were not there, who were not present, but actually had a role in the crimes, and the judges will have important work to do in assessing the evidence brought.
Elise, thank you so much for your insight into this. We'll catch up again and see what happens next. Elise Kepler is Associate Director of the International Justice Program at the Human Rights Watch.